gosh, I cannot wait to go for a drive. It is coming up so soon. Spring is almost here. I'm so excited. What's up? Are you okay? Oh no. Is this about Joey's car again? Oh, for the 100th time, I told you, we just work together. That's it. It's strictly professional. We're doing an engine out job, doing some refreshing, and getting it back to Joey. That's all. Yeah, the GT3 wheels and the carbon package in the car seats are super freaking sick, but like, I want you, you know? I don't know how many times I have to tell you that. And you're gonna be right here the whole time. You're like sitting 5 feet from the lift. You'll see everything that goes on. We will have to go on a test drive together at some point, so that'll be the only time we're alone, but you're just gonna have to trust me, I guess.
Go back! Drop in and just smack the bah!
What's up, friends? Thank you so much for tuning into Fun Ahead TV. This is a very exciting episode because we're kicking off yet another water-cooled restoration, and it is one that is causing a little bit of issues on the home front, if you know what I mean. So the car in question is a 1999 Porsche Carrera. Project Tasty Tiptronic.
Oh, yum.
This is an extremely tasty Tiptronic because of all of the incredibly tasteful accessorizing that Joey has done to this vehicle. But I just want to go ahead and lay it right out on the line that yes, this vehicle is a Tiptronic, okay? Automatic transmission. If any of you have anything negative to say, do not put it in the comments. I will remove negative comments about the fact that this is an automatic transmission. Do not, just don't. We're all automotive enthusiasts here. We all have our own transmission preferences. Let's let everyone have their own transmission preferences. That does not make this any less of a Porsche just because it's an automatic transmission. So this car belongs to a customer of mine, Joey. He wants to do an engine out on this vehicle because this is a 1999 Carrera 2, which means that it does have the M96 5-chain engine, which means that it has the Variocam pads that love to just age and start chunking apart. So given that this car is now 26 years old and it has 80-something thousand miles on it, those are most likely a little past their prime. Joey has done an amazing job accessorizing this vehicle. I've got my coffee in hand, cars and coffee style. We're gonna walk around this thing, kick the tires, and just look at all of the amazing stuff that he has done to this thing. Accessorizing a vehicle can tend to go one of two ways. Someone either just way overdoes it and just does a bunch of gaudy crap to their car, or they can do it like this to the point where it's extremely tasteful and subtle. As I'm looking at the car, I just continue to see more and more stuff that Joey has done to this thing. Not only has he done cosmetic things to this vehicle, but he has done mechanical things as well. Let's just go ahead and do a quick walk around of this thing, then we'll get into the interior. I want to show you guys this. Okay, now right off the bat, just general vehicle condition. This paint is immaculate. And of course it's PPF. Obviously he has gone with the clear markers, but look a little more deeply and you can see, yeah. This is the kind of stuff. It's all subtle stuff. It's not super gaudy and in your face. It's like, oh wait, that's not a normal 996 part. That's some very expensive aftermarket stuff. I can see he has replaced this trim right here, which I had to do on mine as well. These tend to just flip up on the edges. So that's not an inexpensive trim piece. And of course, Joey has done it. GT3 wheels, the two-piece wheels, I think these are. Two-piece, three-piece, two-piece. Dope wheel option in my personal opinion. And these are his winter wheels. These aren't even his main primary wheels. Nice. Also, look at the two-piece brake rotors. Brother. And of course, perfectly painted crests in the middle there. These are showing not a single sign of wear. Wheel studs to replace the original lug bolts. Of course, that's an awesome accessory. These caps, which I think are like some kind of like TPMS system, I'm guessing. So that's pretty cool. I've actually never seen that before. Backing up a little bit, the Porsche decal on the side, very tastefully done. He's also done some tasteful carbon fiber on the outside. The mirrors goes very well with the silver and with the decal. And then he has done the carbon fiber deck lid as well with the spoiler, carbon fiber spoiler rather, and then just painted black deck lid. Those carbon bits actually are a great segue to start talking about the interior. So let's go ahead, open this door, and look at that. Look at this thing. So the subtlety continues. LED lights for all of these lights, okay? The door pulls, GT3 style door pulls, yep. Carbon fiber on the door card here. And the carbon fiber continues on the center console here. Shifter, armrest, radio surround. Also, dang it, what's this called? I can't remember what that's called, but that's the really expensive radio. Allows you to have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and GPS and whatever else you need in your vehicle that was built before all of that existed. He even has like carbon fiber speaker covers in the back here and on the door card there. Super cool. And of course these Recaro Sportster seats, which are very tasty. Not only do they look super cool, but they match the car so well. I can tell you firsthand, these things are so comfortable and they just hug you so nicely. I actually considered getting these exact seats for my vehicle, but have never had a chance to try them out, and I have now. And so now I am very much so considering getting these because these are just, yeah, these are kind of a must-have, I would say. Let's go ahead and look inside the power barn in the back here. All right, right off the bat, the accessorizing continues. So, 997 airbox, much nicer, much cleaner look than the original 996 one. Aftermarket oil cap, because of course. Aftermarket coolant expansion tank and cap. Ultimate air oil separator right here. That is not an inexpensive option. And looking up here, you can see IMS solution. Yes, Joey has done the solution, not the retrofit, the solution. The permanent journal bearing that goes in place of the original roller bearing, or ball bearing rather. So a bunch of just very cool stuff, as you can see, and it's all subtle stuff. If you just saw this car going past you on the road, or if you just even saw it sitting in a parking lot, you wouldn't immediately go, oh dude, that's a car that has many thousands of dollars of aftermarket tasteful options installed on it. But then you start looking at stuff and you go, oh, like it's very much an if you know, you know kind of thing. And I think that is so cool. The subtle mods to me are just the ones that kind of get me going. I never have preferred mods that are like, look at me, super flashy, and you know, and that's kind of what Porsche is all about. Yes, it's more flashy than say like a Corolla, but it's not a Ferrari. It's more of like the finesse and the subtlety. And so all of these mods just bode so well with the overall Porsche-ness. So Joey, I think I speak on behalf of all of us watching when I say, chef's kiss, sir. This is absolutely super cool. Owning any vehicle like this is a passion thing. It has to be inherently. This is a very impractical car at the end of the day, and there is no real rational reason for any of us to put any amount of money into these cars. And yet we do, because we do it for the love of the car. And Joey clearly has a lot of love for this car, which makes me extremely honored to be able to say that I get to do some caretaking on this particular vehicle. Obviously, like we said, he has put a lot of money into this vehicle to make it very stout, and we're going to continue down that path of making this thing even more mechanically stout by upgrading several of the things that tend to go bad in these engines over time. Let's go ahead and get this thing up on the lift, take a look underneath this thing, and begin the process of actually getting this engine out. I think we're gonna find even more things that Joey has done into this vehicle. All right, got the car up in the air. Let's go ahead and do a quick underside inspection of this thing because I just keep seeing more and more. Underside inspection. Well, first things first, when we start at the very back, well, didn't take long to see several aftermarket things that are freaking dope. Fab Speed X-Pipe with cats, very cool. Moving on, we've got a skid plate here, and that is because that is the Ellen Engineering skid plate to protect the Ellen Engineering deep oil sump. I believe this is was it 2 or 2.5 additional quarts of oil. Plus, of course, it has the X51 baffle and a baffle plate on top of that. He did say that this is the, what is it called? The Fister exhaust. That one hack, the hack that connects the 2 chambers to make the exhaust louder. He has the mufflers with that. Moving on, oh, don't mind this drip. I just dropped all the oil out of the engine, so of course you're gonna see some drips. Spin-on oil filter adapter. Reason he has this is because this adapter right here is what is utilized to source the oil pressure for the IMS solution. So you can see that braided steel line back there. That is coming from this spin-on filter adapter. So he has that, of course, because that is part of that overall kit. Let's see, ooh, wow, that hose is hanging on for dear life. We'll go ahead and fix that. Adjustable drop links for the sway bar, not to mention coilovers on all four corners. Very, very nice. And of course, directly above me, you can see the legendary Tiptronic 5-speed automatic transmission. And right next to that transmission, you can see the thing that makes the 1999 model year cars so special, and that is direct connected throttle cable. That's right, they did 1 year of the direct throttle cable, and then after that, they switched to drive-by-wire throttle body control from the 2000 model year and on. But this one little cable right here is what allows the 1999 model year cars to command a decent bit of a premium over the newer ones. So other than that, just looking around, you can tell that Joey has had a lot of maintenance done to this thing. For example, brand new coil packs, water pump, thermostat. Basically, he's had this thing just gone through very, very thoroughly. Just about anything that needs to be done on one of these engines has been done on this one, with the exception of what we're going to be doing to this car in this particular project. On that note, what do you say we go ahead and talk about just what the heck it is we're going to be doing to this car on this particular project? I don't know why my head's doing just this like crazy. So obviously this car is in very impressive shape and has had just about everything you can think of done to this engine. I noticed several more things up towards the front of the car that I didn't mention on camera yet. For example, I believe it has brand new radiator fans and a brand new resistor for the low-high fans. Clearly Joey has just a ton of passion for this car. He's put the time and energy into researching all of the could-be problem areas of one of these and just has gone ahead and spent the money to go ahead and just fix it preventatively. But there are, of course, a few items left over in this powertrain that have not yet really been touched, which is the reason for the season, the reason we are pulling the engine out of this car, and that is timing chain guides. Aging rubbers and plastics, always the name of the game. We're going to replace all of the timing chain guides that we can access while the engine is reassembled. Of course, the IMS timing chain guides cannot be replaced unless you literally physically split the engine case. That's a little bit more invasive. We're not touching those on this particular go around. The primary timing chain guides that go from the IMS out to the exhaust cam on each bank and the Vario cam pads. In addition, we're going to go ahead and replace the smaller 4th and 5th timing chains on each bank. And we're gonna do lifters, of course, while we're in there because we'll have the cams out. We literally have to take the current lifters out anyway to do this job. We might as well just go ahead and put brand new ones back in. So that being the kind of epicenter of everything we're gonna do, and of course there are always while you're in there along the way. No sense continuing to just talk about it. I need to go ahead and start dropping this engine so that we can actually get this work done. Let's do it. All right, I have been making so much progress on our super sick, what am I calling this thing? Oh, Tasty Tiptronic, right.
Oh, yum.
So progress on Tasty Tiptronic is coming along nicely. I now have basically everything finished on the underside. All the fluids are out of it. All the things are loosened up that need to be. Basically the engine and transmission are ready to drop with regards to the underside. I have started working on the top side, made a little bit of progress with regards to that. I still need to do the big items like pull out the AC compressor in addition to just a couple other odds and ends. But made a ton of progress in the last few hours. This drop has been going relatively quickly, which is nice. I'm gonna go ahead, wrap things up for the day, but when we pick things up tomorrow, it'll be time to go ahead and drop this engine and transmission out of this puppy. I'm pretty excited. Hope you are too. Well, folks, and there you have it. The engine and transmission are out of Joey's Tasty Tiptronic.
Yum.
And now the real work begins, but not today. That will happen in next week's episode where we actually start tearing into this thing. We're gonna have to separate the engine and transmission. I'll show you guys exactly how to do that. And we're gonna go ahead and get this engine on the stand and start tearing into each respective cylinder head to replace the timing chain guides and the lifters. A lot of stuff is going to be getting replaced on this thing and refreshed. Nice little mechanical restoration going on with Joey's super tasty Tiptronic. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do me a huge favor and subscribe to see even more content like this coming down the pipeline to you via Funhead TV every single week. And please hit that like button because it helps recommend my videos to other people who also might like this kind of content. And it helps out my channel immensely as a result. So thank you so much for being here this week. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, you, I'm looking right at you. And I will see you all in next week's episode. Later.
Drop in and just smack the lip.
Lobster with crab and seafood stuffing.
Ugh, yum.